because in analog you don't have Control F. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, welcome. Hi, my name is 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔, and today we are setting up my Hobonichi Weeks Mega for travel. And before we get started, just a little reminder to like this video if you do like it, and subscribe to my channel for more planning videos. So as I've mentioned in my last video, which I will link in the cards up above, I am traveling and therefore I have to narrow down my planners. So instead of having all three planners, I am now going to be staying in my Hobonichi Weeks Mega. If it's going to be a personal trip, I usually bring my 𝒼𝕗𝒂𝒧𝒧😂. This is like a quick travel and then just lasting almost 2 weeks, and then going back, I just went ahead and set this up. So today what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what I planned and the different layouts for the next 3 weeks in my Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and then we are also going to be setting up my drawer pouch 𝒼𝒂𝒂𝒧𝒧😂, the black one. So you have seen this before, and I am going to be making sure that I'm only bringing the essentials. So we'll go through this later. We are going to start with this planner. Okay, let's go to this week first, as per usual. And by the way, the pen that I have chosen to bring is this one. So this is the 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔, and she is fairly new. I got her when I got back to Manila, and this is the first pen. Oh no, this is the second fountain pen that I got once I got back to Manila, and this is in F nib. And what's in her is the Pilot Iroshizuku Shinkai, which is my current favorite ink. Okay, so I'll put this aside for now, and we'll put her in the drawer pouch 𝒼𝒂𝒂🧐 in a little bit. So let's go through this week. So this is the page. Currently, we have yet to move on from week 43, but I did plan week 44, 45, 46. So a review of this page, it worked very well. This is one of the more functional, very functional, yet at the same time it leaves a lot of room still for me to write down things. And my favorite part of this is the tracker. So the tracker is divided into two. This is progress tracker, and it's not just like a habit tracker. I'm actually having to write down exactly what I have done, and I have my expectations, and then I also have what I actually did. And as you can see, they don't match up, but I was able to finish it yesterday, so I'm very happy that I've done that. And then we went to a Halloween party, so that was pretty fun. And then I really like this too, but I haven't actually done all those things. I'm planning to do them tomorrow, and then next week I do have things here still. And if you haven't tried Cornell Notes, it is a really fun way to organize your notes so that it's easy for you to go through them. 𝒼𝒄𝒄 method is also a really good one, but 𝒼𝒄𝒄 method is more of tasks, so tasking, than the Cornell Notes. So now let's move on to the next page. It is the 44th week of the year, and it's pretty simple. So in my weekend video, I've said that I'm going for simple layouts for this week, or rather the next week, and not going to try and overcomplicate things because I'm not going to be in that planner for the whole entire week. However, in this planner, I am going to be in here, so it's very clean here, but the divisions are very different. So I did divide the days. I deepened up the lines that are already in the planner, and then I used that one or last dot over here to make that line. And I really love that dot because it makes my lines straight if I just follow it. So I do tend to do that often. And then on the right page, I did darken the line that's already on the planner, and this is just to divide this little column from the bigger column. And I think that's very helpful if you want to not have to rely on that little faint line. It's usually really too faint for me. That's why I darkened the lines, but you don't have to do that if you're fine with those lines because you're just following this anyways. So that is the layout and the different sections I'm going to talk about now. So for the left page, the dailies has all my appointments and my to-dos all at the same time. And if it's an appointment, there's just usually time there, so that's how I know. I have left some space for me to put in my flight details, so fly out and my layover, and then fly out and arrival, and then I'm having dinner with someone on different days once I arrive in my destination. On the column, the narrower column, I have my progress. So I'm still working on my manuscript. I finished draft 2 this week, and then next week we're going to go into the 3rd draft, which is likely going to be the second to the last draft until we're ready to submit. And then across that is we have the notes pages. So all of them are notes. However, in the narrower column of the right page, I do have my index of all the notes that I have made for this upcoming trip. For example, the documents list of all the documents that I need to do is in my Hobonichi Weeks Maaya week 44. So I know to go there if I'm looking for that. There are some things that I wanted to copy onto the notes pages of my Hobonichi Weeks Mega. For example, on number 4, I wanted to pick the sessions. So it's a conference. So I wanted to pick the sessions that I wanted to go to because they're doing parallel sessions. So I won't be able to attend every single one. I have to pick and choose which ones I really like. So I wanted to do that, but I hadn't done that yet. I will be doing it next week. So I just wanted to note down where I'm supposed to write it on in the notes pages of this planner. So if ever I do have more things to do, like for example, my supervisor will be attending as well, but he is arriving midweek and I have to maybe meet him at the airport or something, then I will write it down somewhere here as well. But that is for next week. So that is for week 44, and now we're moving on to week 45, and it gets more complicated. So week 45, I will not be at home. I will be entirely in another country for my conference, and so this is conference planning. So I have divided the left side into 3 different areas or 3 different columns, whereas the right side I've only divided that into 2. I've also deepened the lines that are already in the planner to divide the different days. And I do this because I know I'm going to be tired. It's going to be conference early in the morning, not my favorite time. And then at night, it's going to be meeting people, partying, and all of those things. And if ever I get sick, then I'm not going to be able to be doing a lot of planning. So I wanted everything to, at a glance, to make sense. So in the first column, I have my session. So as I've mentioned, I'm going to be writing down the sessions that I am attending, and there are things that everybody needs to attend. For example, there's going to be the registration and the opening, and then the first plenary is always the most important, because the biggest people in that conference will be plenary. So in my schedule, these are non-session things. It's conference things, but this is not like a part of the conference. So as I mentioned, my supervisor is coming. I'm meeting one of my collaborators on the same day of the midweek tour, so I'm not going to be signing up for that, unfortunately. And then across that, I have home. If there's anything about home that I need to write down, then I can do that. And then for YouTube, I do have a series going on the whole entire week. So the planning for this is in my Hobonichi Weeks Nuance, but I wanted to have a record of that as well in my planners. And then for the very last column, the wide column on the right page, I have my notes section. So that is just all notes section. There's nothing written on it because I wanted to write down things once this week starts. And that is week 44 for us. And now we're going to be moving on to the last week that I planned, which is week 46. For here, it's sort of the same type of information as week 45, but I've arranged it in a different way because at the end of the week or the latter part of the week, I will be at home with my other planners. I haven't set up those planners for week 46 because I plan to back plan all my different notes onto those planners. For this page, the left page is divided into two columns, a narrower one and then a wider one. And then across that, on the right page, we have two columns as well, but one of the columns has an extra row. So let's go back to the left page. Similarly, I used a very thick marker to divide the days. Every time I travel, I want it to have the days divided in a way that at a glance, I know it's a different thing. And then we have my schedule on the first column. So I want to go to a park, I'm flying out, and things like that. And then across that, we have the daily logs. So the daily logs will have all the to-do things because for example, I'm in an Airbnb and then I need to clean out the Airbnb before I fly out. So the night before, we need to clean up. And I want to make sure that the Airbnb is clean because the Airbnb is booked under my name. That makes up the left page. So on the right page, I have another narrow column, and in that narrow column, I divided it between home and social media, specifically YouTube. Actually, Instagram I can just post every day. And then across that, I have my notes. So I have another info dump. Info dumps are very important for me because I write a lot of things down. I don't rely on memory. I will never be able to remember all of those things, and I'm okay with that. That's why I have a planner, and that's why I have multiple planners to help divide the information already so that when I am looking for those information, I know exactly where to find them. Because in analog, you don't have Control F. And then underneath that, I have my next week. So that is the whole of the 46th week, as well as all of the pre-planned pages that I have. Okay, so that is my Hobonichi Weeks Mega, and she is gonna stay right here. And now we are able to get into the drawer pouch ane. Okay, so this is our drawer pouch ane all packed up. Unfortunately, as I was packing it, I did not hit the record button. So I'm gonna have to do it one more time. So I did go through the Hobonichi drawer pouch ane. Okay, so the Hobonichi drawer pouch ane is one of the mid-sized drawer pouches that is in the official Hobonichi store. It is zipped all around, you can see there, and then you have this zipper tab that is also a handle. This is in textile, the same textile as this. This comes in many different colors and designs, and then there's a little pocket right here on the side that is not zipped, so you can put stuff in here, and I'm planning to put my face mask in here, and it's actually wide enough to hold boarding passes, which is why I am very keen in bringing this so that I can put everything in one bag. I'm also planning to utilize this to put in some of my copies of my important documents, like over vaccine certificate and things like that. So I did put my pens in here already. So actually this is all set up. So I do have quite a few pens here. I have a highlighter, and then I have my Marvi Ushida 0.5 felt tip. I have another felt tip that is the Mangaka 01. This is my favorite, the Mangaka 01. And then I have the fountain pen that I am using for this strip. If ever the fountain pen runs out, I'm not going to bring an extra cartridge. If that runs out, then I'll just use the Zig Mangaka and everything is fine. So I'll just put it there. And then on either side, so it does fit the Hobonichi Weeks Mega and the regular Hobonichi Weeks, of course, very comfortably. I put it in this larger side. Mind that this divider is not stitched onto the bottom of the bag, and that helps it with the bulk. So if you put pens in there, then it may roll into the other side. So that's often happened to me, but I don't mind because the pen that I usually use is at the top, so it doesn't roll anywhere. So this is where I'll be putting the Mega, and then you have on either side is the same. You have the card holder and that little space there. So I put away all of the stickers. I have done a setup or a tour of my drawer pouch ane before, and it used to have so many stickers. I took all of them out because I will be using the card holder. I'm going to a conference and I will probably receive a lot of business cards, and I wanted to put those business cards in here so that I could store them properly later. And then to add to that, I also bought this from our Daiso, our local Daiso, and this is extra card holders that holds, I think, 5 more cards, and I can just put that in here and everyone will have a home in my drawer pouch on it. So this is where I plan to put my documents, my extra documents, and then in here you have some little pockets that are a little bit wider than the card holders, and I'm able to put the tabs for the Hobonichi Weeks Mega. If you get a Hobonichi Weeks Mega, you will get these because the Mega doesn't have the ribbons. And then we also have this film tabs. I might need it, I'm not so sure, so as backup. And then I also have this stencil because this stencil doesn't have any home, and this is from the Hobonichi Weeks store. This is not the most popular stencil. The green one is, but this one isn't very popular, but I like it just the same. And I have planned with that. I'm gonna see if I can link that up above. If I can't find it, then I won't be able to do that. So this zip compartment is the most secure because the bottom is stitched. So I tend to put some of the little things in here, like this clip. I might need it because documents are going to be in here. I plan to put the SIM card from the country that I'm going to in here until I'm able to put it in my phone, and then my home SIM will go in here. So those little things, and then of course backup USB drives as well. And then in here I have another compartment, and then you have the exact same thing on the other side. Also, I have my ruler in here just in case. It's metal, so I'm hoping it goes through security at the airport. I'm not really sure anymore because I haven't traveled in a very long time. So that is what is in my drawer pouch, and since everything is in here now, she is ready to go. Well, she's waiting on documents. That's what is missing here, the documents that I need to travel. And if you watched my last video, there are a lot of documents. And that is tour of the Hobonichi drawer pouch ane. I do highly recommend this. There's another version of this. I forgot what it's called. It's nice because it also has lots of compartments, but I feel like this is the one that fits my lifestyle best. So I chose this one rather than the other one. It's not being promoted very well right now. They promoted it like 2-3 years ago, maybe even 4 years ago. Maybe not a lot of people have seen them, but they are very good. I do highly recommend them. At the same time, you can actually find similar ones elsewhere, probably not in the same configuration, but you know, it's doing the same thing. The one thing that I will say is that this is not waterproof, so if anything happens to this, it's gonna get wet, and everything inside is gonna get wet. So just be careful. This isn't a field type of thing. This is a more relaxed, you know, high-end kind of thing. This isn't something that I will bring to the field because it will get wet. So that's just something to consider. It's not that it's bad, it's just that it's not built for field work. I'm sure there are lots of other bags that are built for field work. I have to say that I'm not putting my passport in here because it's not waterproof. It's going to go into another little baggie, but they will all go into my carry-on, my travel purse. So everyone is nice, safe, and happy, and divided in their own little homes in that bag. Alright, so that's it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you liked this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions, do comment it down below. Plus, please subscribe for more planning videos. And I'll see you in my video series. Bye!